Welcome to the Hustle Hills podcast, the audio version of our brand new show. Hustle Hills is the hub for all things health and business. This podcast will provide you with quick and easy, helpful health tips, as well as tips directly from entrepreneurs on how to grow your business and make it what you want. Every Wednesday will be something different, so stay tuned to learn the tricks to hustling in health and in business. Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustle Hills podcast. I am Cindy Kamakalum, your host, and today we're talking about investing in our business. Creating a podcast has never been easier. Anchor gives you everything you need all in one place. Editing tools, background music, distribution, and the best part is that it's free. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast right from your phone or computer. Now, you can even make money from your podcast through Anchor with no minimum listenership required. So download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to join today. So today's episode, we're talking about the top 3 things I've invested or sacrificed in the business to get it to where it is today. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my team and how amazing they are, and I couldn't even fathom doing this on my own. So the top 3 things I'm going to talk about are just part and parcel of the big picture. But these 3 things I think are very important and they've stood out for me, and I'm here to share it with you. So the first thing is time. When I was about 17, 18 years old, my dad told me, time is the one thing that once you waste, you cannot get it back. And since I heard those words, they've stuck with me. And I know that I've probably shared those words countless times over because it's true. I think that time is such a valuable tool. And oftentimes when we're young, we take it for granted. But what I mean essentially when I say that I've invested time into the business is early mornings, late nights, working, just looking at my screen, pounding the pavement, burning the midnight oil, trying to get things right. I've invested time researching competitors and what they're doing right and how we can make that better and implement it into our own business. I've spent time redesigning our website. I remember, for instance, when we first started, I designed the first iteration of our website and I hated it, but a couple of our advisors said, this is what the website needs to look like. And down the road, you can fix it. You can make iterations to it, but this is what it needs to be. And that was a part of the time that I had to wait. I had to invest time in building it and getting all the content together and reviewing it. I've spent time checking emails, completing applications, reviewing documents, and there seems to never be enough time to do any of those things. But to bring that whole concept of time full circle, some advice that I've gotten from my mother within the last year was that the more time you spend in a business or doing something, anything for that matter, the more opportunities become available to you. And I've actually just recently started to see that concept come into fruition. The more you're around, the more time you spend doing something, the more opportunities you have to perfect that thing. And then things kind of just start taking shape. The second thing we've invested in our business is money, of course. So spending money on things that on the face of it sometimes don't make sense, but they are necessary for your business to thrive. That will vary from industry to industry. Also investing money in things like licensing, background checks, fingerprinting, for our industry specifically, spill kits. If a customer is in transit and they happen to be sick, and you need to clean up after them, having the necessary tools to keep the vehicle sanitary. Very, very important. They're not entirely expensive, but if you have a huge fleet, you have to have one for each vehicle. And if you use the materials in that spill kit, you have to replenish them. And that's money. That's money that goes to materials to keep those things stocked. Insurances, again, for our industry, very, very expensive. We carry very, very high insurance, uh, you know, premiums is what I'll call them because I can't think of any other better word. But these are things that are necessary for our business, and it costs a lot of money. Promotional materials, subscription services. Those things I think are general to any business. Promotional materials are great because it helps get the word out about your business. Some people may feel or may think that promotional materials are not necessary. Subscription services like, your hosting, who does your hosting, who you're using to send out your email marketing, etc., etc. All of these things cost money. And the financial obligation that comes with running a business is no small feat. And so if you're thinking about running a business or you're running a business, these are things that you have to kind of just come to terms with. And the more money that you have, it doesn't necessarily guarantee success. I've seen, firsthand, and I've heard accounts of other people through books and personal, experiences that people have narrated to me, that sometimes the smaller the budget you have when you're getting started, the better, because it forces you to really use and tap into your creativity on how you're going to make your business run and function. So the second thing I would say, without a doubt, is money. Last but certainly not least, I've sacrificed my comfort. My comfort is something that is extremely important to me, but I've found myself in uncomfortable positions for the sake of the business. This oftentimes happens when I have to let someone go or I have to give a performance review to an employee who is underperforming. That part never feels easy. I'm always reluctant. I'm always antsy or uneasy right before I have to deliver that news. And it's just one of those things. But I will say that I have grown in that process, and I have learned how to compartmentalize my emotions and be objective and to really put the business first. And truthfully, my responsibility and my obligation is to the business when I am at Conejo Valley Transit. And so while I am sympathetic and sometimes empathetic to people's situations, I do have to prioritize the business because that is what I signed up for. So, is it all worth it? Absolutely. I have grown tremendously in the role that I occupy, and I have learned and am continuously learning how to become a better leader. Fulfillment in serving others is one of my top priorities, and I get that here in this position. Achieving a goal and crossing off something that I have labored for just feels good. And what I've gained, a better understanding of the industry and the people that I work with, and what tools and resources work for me and my team. So if you are thinking about starting a business, or you just started a business, a little piece of advice: everything is not going to be easy, but you get the hang of it. The more time you put in, it somehow just feels right. You will invest tons of money, but if you have a great product, a great service, you'll make that money back tenfold. And most importantly, grow in one way or another. That's the episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Hustle Hills podcast. I'm Cindy Kamagalum, the host. It has been a pleasure. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.